These panic attacks grew into depressive episodes to the extent where I could not study, I could not do anything. The only thing I could do was sleep because that was my form of escape from everything that was happening, and also overeating to suppress the emotions I was experiencing.
What situation are you facing today that seems overwhelming? Right now, receive the strength to overcome it. Receive the strength to overcome that difficulty, overcome that challenge, overcome that hindrance, overcome that obstacle. Receive the strength to overcome today.
My name is UBwalya. I am a student currently studying in China. The problem that brought me to the interactive prayer service was living a wild life, depression, anxiety, and also academic failure. Before I joined the interactive prayer service, I had certain behaviors that caused academic failure. These were behaviors like lying, fornication, laziness, and procrastination. And all these behaviors caused anxiety. I would usually indulge in drinking frequently. Because of these behaviors, I ended up having severe anxiety and sometimes panic attacks because I wasn't prepared for what I had to do academically. And also, it took a toll on my body. I would have a sore body. I wouldn't be active as I needed to be for my day-to-day activities. Later, these panic attacks grew into depressive episodes to the extent where I could not study, I could not do anything. The only thing I could do was sleep because that was my form of escape from everything that was happening, and also overeating to suppress the emotions I was experiencing. And because of this academic failure, I ended up isolating from my family and most of my friends. I could not talk to my family. I could not talk to my parents unless I needed financial support from them. Otherwise, I would completely isolate myself from my family. I also couldn't go to a lot of my classes because of anxiety, fear of not being caught up with the work that we were given at school. And as a result, I ended up failing most of my courses. And the more I didn't go to class, isolated myself from people who had to help me, the more the academic failure increased and the more anxiety, panic, depression, and now I ended up having nightmares. I would see myself failing academically, and because of the fornication, I ended up having lust and would also experience affairs in my dreams from both men and women. I experienced spiritual spouses every time I went to sleep, either a nap or going to sleep at night. And because of the nightmares, I would fear to go to sleep. So sometimes I would experience insomnia because I was afraid to go to sleep, and I would be afraid of the dark too. And then I also, before the interactive prayer, I also had severe migraines. I could not study. I had these migraines since I was about 12 years old. That would have been for 9 years. Whenever I had these migraines, that would be on a daily basis. I could not study. I could not tie my hair or wear any hair accessories. I could not concentrate in class, and the only thing I had to do was sleep to relieve the pain. And even if I went to sleep, I would still wake up with the same headache. And it would also affect my eyes sometimes. And that also contributed to a lot of academic failure because I had to sleep in order to relieve the pain, which wouldn't even end up going away. So because of all these things, I also experienced a lack of confidence and also lack of self-esteem. I was on a journey to find out how I could bring myself back together. This also led into other things like meditation or yoga. I started practicing meditation or yoga, and I almost went into new age because of wellness. I was trying my best to get myself together to be in a healthy state of mind, but I ended up going to the wrong methods. I moved away from God and went to different methods of becoming better and making things right. At the beginning, you will feel as though it's actually helping you, but then you have to keep on doing more and more and more to actually feel better. It would just draw you into other practices and deeper practices where you had to give out more. So there was no permanent solution at all. This started in 2020, I believe, during the pandemic, the fear and the anxiety of the pandemic and being far away from home. That was the very beginning up until last year, May 2023, when I joined the interactive prayer service. I accidentally joined the interactive prayer service on May 6th, 2023. I was looking for something to watch on YouTube, something to watch to clear my mind. And then I saw the thumbnail of the interactive prayer service with Brother Chris on it. So because I grew up in a household where we would watch services from the Synagogue Church of All Nations, his face was familiar. I knew who he was, and I wanted to see what he was currently doing now. So I just clicked out of curiosity, not intentionally, to join the interactive prayer service. And when I joined the interactive prayer service on that day, I was right in time for Brother Chris's preaching about forgiveness, about how we had to ask for forgiveness and also forgive ourselves and others for whatever happened in the past. So because of that preaching, I was able to forgive myself. I was really touched, and I was able to forgive myself and also ask for forgiveness from God for everything that I had done to get to the point that I was at. During that interactive prayer service, I had no physical manifestation whatsoever. The only thing I felt was a peace and a hope and a feeling knowing that I've been given a second chance to move on with my life and also begin a fresh life and correct every other mistake that I had made up to that point. One of the first changes I noticed was that I was not easily discouraged, especially with academic challenges. I did not have fear anymore to do what I had to do. I also noticed that that night I slept peacefully. I did not have any nightmares. There was no attacks whatsoever or spiritual spouses, people having affairs with me in my dreams or anybody attacking me or chasing me. And before the interactive prayer service, I would have dreams of getting lost, trying to find my way back home, but I could not do that. But after that service, I never had those reoccurring dreams of being lost and trying to find my way back home. And the migraines also stopped. I haven't had any migraines unless regular headaches, maybe because of dehydration or maybe the heat. Otherwise, I haven't experienced any migraines or anxiety or even panic attacks. and failure to all the courses that I failed before May 2023, I was able to correct most of them and actually pass my exams from May 2023 up until now. Now I no longer have lack of self-esteem or lack of self-confidence. There is no fear, there is no depression, because before I was trying to handle everything on my own. I was trying to be the solution to the problems that I had caused. But now it is different because there is hope from Jesus. You know that He's the one to help you, that you don't have to help yourself or find solutions for yourself. So now there is peace and there is hope, knowing that I don't have to maybe fight my battles or carry my challenges on my own. Now there is no anxiety, there is no isolation from my family. We encourage each other to pray. Now I am more open and I communicate with my family, unlike before. I've completely separated from the people I used to hang out with before. It is just, everything is just new. There's newness now. My first advice is joining or being part of this prayer is not by accident. It was God actually waiting for you, inviting you to help you, and you actually accepted that invitation. And the second advice I have is for us to learn from our mistakes and actually go back to God after our mistakes. Do not let the guilt overwhelm you. It is not our job to carry the guilt. All that was taken care of by Jesus. So once you make a mistake, repent. We should not lose time to repent. Go back to Jesus after your mistake. There is hope and there is always a new beginning.